So good afternoon everybody. So today's our topic is to play with the dice, and to play with the dice I have bought one dice for you. Okay, so today we are going to get what is there, right? This answer. So now let us give a short description of it. So we have seen that our inertia was a tensor, and this inertia is this. So it is just converting the angular velocity to angular momentum. Now I have written the whatever you have studied earlier as what is Ixx, right? Iyy. So Ixx means that it is just going to decide if you are going to rotate it with respect to x, right? So it is all about the rotational inertias that I have written, Ixx, Iyy, Izz, but there exists product of inertias. What are those? That we are going to listen first, and then we will be deriving what the thing is. So as such, if I am going to write in the component form, then this is what is my angular momentum vector, this is what is my inertia matrix or inertia tensor, and this is what is my angular velocity vector. Okay. Now look, this product of inertia is all about what? It is telling that xy times dl to be integrated over the body. Now I am just going to give a simple example of, let's say this is the duster, right? Say this is the duster, like this part, rectangular one. This is the duster. You went up to the center of mass. From there you have defined x-axis, and after that y-axis, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Now look, for every positive x, there is a negative x. So as such, if you are going to cut along the yz axis, you are going to get two identical sections. Mind it carefully. Just look into this duster. This is just sitting at the center of mass. This is what is my x-axis. This is what is my y-axis, and this is what is my z-axis. Now if I am going to cut it along the yz axis, then I am going to get two identical sections, right? So what it is meaning? That there exists a mirror symmetry. There exists a mirror symmetry. Okay, so if there is a mirror symmetry, then what I can write is, for every positive x there exists a negative x. So all the x terms, that means Ixy and Ixz is 0. Straight away 0. Now let us check. Now I am going to cut in xz plane. Now I am going to cut in the xz plane. If I am going to cut in the xz plane, then you understand that for every positive y there exists a negative y. I mean, I am going to cut it like this. I am going to cut it like this. Then I am going to get two mirror symmetry. There exists a mirror symmetry. So all the y oriented term is going to be 0. So this product of inertias are going to tell the symmetry. Are you understanding? So far, I think you have discussed about you have discussed in your higher secondary days that this is what is the mass moment of inertia. But product of inertias are going to tell that whether the body is symmetric or not. If the body is having two planes of symmetry, then all the product of inertias are 0. Now you look into this duster. What I have talked so far? I have talked so far yz plane and xz plane. Okay, yz and xz. There exists xy plane as well, but I don't need. I don't need that. So two plane of symmetry is sufficient enough to say that all the product of inertias are going to be 0, right? So this is what it is going to talk about. that how much resistance it is going to give towards the angular velocity and angular acceleration. And this is what is going to decide about the symmetry property. Okay, sure. So, for this duster, all these product of inertias are going to be 0. So, for the rectangle, now I am going to come for the I for the rectangle. I for the rectangle is going to be what? Ixx. Now you understand? It is going to, if it is going to rotate about x axis, if it is going to rotate about y axis, this is what is my x. Yeah, it is going to rotate about the y axis. Definitely, about x axis the rotation, moment of inertia is going to be less than the y axis, and in z axis, y and z axis it is going to be the same. So, Ixx 0, 0, 0, Iyy 0, 0, Izz. Now, for this duster, let us define that we have seen that this is what is my x axis, this is y axis, and this is z axis. So, for the x axis rotation is like this, it is going to rotate like this. Resistance is less than rotating about this and rotating about this. So, Ixx is less, but Iyy is equal to Izz, and they are quite higher. So, that calculations that you can do it, or you are having with respect to ABC from the any engineering data book or any book you are going to get, right? So, that is not the issue at all. So, what we are getting is Ixx is not equal to Iyy, and two of them could be same. There is no problem. Now we are coming to I cube. So for the cube, tell me what is going to happen? All the product of inertias are going to be 0. All the product of inertias are going to be 0 because it is holding the same symmetry as that of the rectangle. So I am going to write I. Now you tell me, is the rotation about x axis, that means this formula y square plus z square, is it going to different for any element for this Iyy? Not at all. So all these terms are going to be the same. So it is going to be I 0 0 0 I 0 0 0 I. And what is the I value? I think it is, if it is A, so I is going to be, let's say it is, I think, m a square by 6. Okay, sure. Now you come to the sphere. So I for the sphere, you tell me what is going to happen? It is going to be the same as that of your cube, because it is holding all the symmetry. But there is a issue. Issue is that for this part, if you reorient the coordinate, the shape is not going to change because it is a sphere. But over here, if you are going to reorient the thing, the symmetry might be lost. That you don't know, right? Might be lost or might not be lost. That I don't know, right? But conveniently for the sphere, I can write I 0 0 0 I 0 0 0 I. Now you look carefully that this rectangle is not isotropic. However, this sphere and this cube is isotropic. What does it mean? It means that in Newtonian mechanics, when we talked about the particle, we assumed it as a ball, a sphere, right? Because its inertia properties are same in all the direction. But its inertia properties are not same in all the direction. Mind it carefully. So this, if I am going to change the coordinate, the entire thing is going to change. How it is going to change? It is going to change R, I, R transpose. Now if you are going to do over here R, I, R transpose, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change because these two are isotropic. So a sphere, this is isotropic and this is isotropic. So a sphere and a cube is an isotropic body, isotropic inertia property body. So what does it mean? Yes, what does it mean? It means that, say suppose if you are, I'm just going to use a different color. So if you are going to give an angular velocity of omega, the angular momentum is going to be collinear. L is going to be collinear. Any omega. Similarly over here, if you are going to give a omega, it is going to be the same as collinear like this. But it's not the case with rectangular body. If you are going to give omega, then it is going to decide depending on its property, this. So you look, what is the conclusion is that for rectangular body in general, if you are going to give any omega, its angular momentum is not going to be collinear. But for a for a cube and for a sphere, the angular velocity is in collinear position with the angular momentum, or rather the angular momentum is in the direction of angular velocity. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Now comes to the physics. What does it mean? That what we are going to get out of it? We are going to get out of it is that when we are going to, say suppose you are doing it like this and you are going to place it like this, so it means that it is going to hit in unbiased way. But if you are going to do it like this, then there is a biasedness, and that biasedness is not there if you are not using these two faces. For this duster, look carefully, for this duster, if I am going to make a somewhat like that, this dimension and this dimension is same, then there is no biasness in this direction, but there is a biasness into this direction. That is why I told that Iyy is equal to Izz. Are you understanding? So when you are making it like this, then there is no biasness. You are going to give any angular velocity, the angular momentum is going to be in that direction only, like the sphere. But why we are not using, for the gambling purpose, why we are not using the sphere? Because it is not going to give you that definite number which this is going to give, right? And other thing is that now when there is a chance of temperament, the temperament is that, you can temper it. So if there is any material defect, look carefully, if there is inside it, if there is any material defect, then this part, the symmetry could have been broken. And as a result, what you are going to get is that you know the way you have made it defective. So you know the preferred number it is going to come. And that makes the dice defective or as per you. So whenever any gambler going to go to any gambling thing, they always put the dice into their hand and they go to check in different ways, such that is there any material defect. And if there is any material defect, they will be understanding it and they will put their numbers in their own way. So this is the thing that we should learn from this inertia property of thing. We are understanding from the inertia property. So inertia as a tensor, we are understanding it. right, through this example. So now once again I conclude over here, just an recapitulation you can say, that we started with in this 3 lecture series, we started with the transformation, and this is the transformer or the tensor which transform one vector to other vector. So in this case the inertia is transforming the angular velocity to angular momentum. So inertia tensor is transforming angular velocity to angular momentum, and this inertia property as such, to understand what inertia is, to understand what tensor is, we have given the example of hydrostatic pressure, then dynamical pressure, after that what we discussed, yes, mass, right, and after that this inertia, and now comes the magnetic susceptibility. Yes, magnetic susceptibility is going to say that, say suppose this is the magnetic material, okay, so this is the magnetic material. Now we have given the magnetic field like this. Now it does not mean the north pole and south pole will be aligned to the applied magnetic field. If they reorient in other direction, then the susceptibility is not isotropic, like the hydrostatic pressure. Okay, that becomes the material property. It is meaning that it is biased to some extent to some other portion, some other geometry. Okay, if it is not unbiased, then magnetic susceptibility is like a pressure, hydrostatic pressure term, just scalar with identity tensor, right? So that's the thing is, over here you can confidently consider that if you are not given any angular velocity, right? So you can consider it as a particle, but you cannot consider it as a particle. Okay, it has a biasness. So that's the thing is. So with this we are going to conclude today, and for mechatronics student I think we'll be doing it further for what I will say, for the more depth of tensor analysis. You have to understand what I will say, the actuation portion where the piezoelectric crystals will be dealing with. So we need the background of tensor in more and more depth. We'll be going into it. So but I hope you have enjoyed this. So that's all. Thank you very much.